Hello people, welcome back to another episode of the F1 2021 or 2022 My Team Career Mode. I should say it is F1 2022. It's the new game, new year. We finished the last season on 21 a while ago, but getting into today's episode, what a chaotic intro that is. We have the Miami Grand Prix, first time racing in Miami, my first ever time checking out the circuit in this game. Didn't actually do any practice before we got into this, before we went into the My Team, and as you can see, we've had engine problems this season. If you've missed any of the previous episodes, go and check them out. We've had a lot of issues with this Mercedes engine. Seems to be a universal problem though, and a bug in the game, which is very unfortunate to see. But as you can see there, we had all 4 ICE components completely broken. Couldn't get another one. Now we go into quali. It's forced one on us. That's like 85% wear it had, I think, before a simmed practice. And now it's given us the option to buy another, which theoretically I should have done, but I just wanted to see what happened if all 4 of your components were completely like wiped out. Like, does it give you another one for free? Do you not take the penalty? It sounds stupid, but I just want to see what happens if that was the case. That's a nice shot of the Miami circuit there, with the little fake marina in the middle. Actually embarrassing to see that. But here we go into quali then. You can see the engine absolutely smoking. 97% wear on the ICE as we approach this hairpin corner to start our lap. I think we are starting a lap here, aren't we, for quali? This is our first ever lap around Miami. We cross the line. It's very slow because I was just taking it easy, exploring the track, and then I try and do a push lap, even with this engine missing the apex through turn 1. Missed our braking points a little bit, still up on the delta though somehow, and yeah, this track is definitely one that I could have done with a bit of practice on, but we just didn't have the time to do that. And especially when you go into the practice, it puts more wear on the engine. We didn't have an engine component as it is, and there goes the back end of the car. The engine completely cuts out and we spin off the track. So that is qualifying over for us. Terminal damage, got to retire from the session. Then we will get a new engine component for the race. So I just wanted to see what happened, to be honest. We probably could have went into practice 3 and drove around until it broke before we went into quali. Then we might not have took as big a grid penalty, because of course now we're in Parc Ferme, we'll get a 22 place grid penalty no matter what happens. Finishing last, of course, in the qualifying session. Oscar Piastri out in P19 as well. He's getting closer and closer to that Q2 every single race. We got Q2 this season. I forgot what race it was in, but we've been to Q2 once. Why can't I remember what race that was? Was it in Jeddah? I don't know. But here we go. It's automatically put another component on, or has it? No, do we have to buy it ourselves, I guess? So as you can see, we're breaching Article 34.6, whatever it said, of the sporting regulations. So we will start from the back of the grid. Our gearbox showing 66% wear as well, and now you can just change your gearbox whenever you want. Last year you had to do like 6 races or something per gearbox before you could change it without a penalty, but I guess this year is different. But let's get to the race.
Welcome to the Miami International Autodrome, home of the Miami Grand Prix. This exciting track circumnavigates the Hard Rock Stadium, home to the National Football League outfit, the Miami Dolphins. Sitting at the southeastern coast of Florida, the Miami International Autodrome has 19 corners and 3.36 miles of racing. It's a circuit designed to encourage close racing while meeting the highest safety standards. Either way, I'm sure it's one that will please the fans. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday, and it's put him on pole. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Russell, Max Verstappen, and Perez. Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen. Mick Schumacher, Norris, Pierre Gasly and Tsunoda, Vettel, Albon, Guan Yu Zhou and Oscar Piastri, Stroll, Latifi, Ricciardo and the owner-driver. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
Well, I imagine they'll be starting to feel the adrenaline as they anticipate the run down into turn one, a bit like preparing to go into battle. The unknown situation will bring nerves, but that's a good thing. It will keep them focused on the moment and on their surroundings as we build towards the start of the Grand Prix.
There we have them, people, the grid for the Miami Grand Prix. We're going to go with the one-stop strategy, medium hard. The hard tyres I've not had a lot of fun with on this career mode so far this season, but we're sticking with that one-stop strategy. And as you can see, a little orange marker in the bottom right showing that gearbox wear. But we have no time to think about that. It's lights out and away we go. In Miami, Ricciardo in P21 off to a shaky start there, but absolutely blitzing us still, leaving us in the dust. Can we send one from way downtown, up the inside, gaining a few places there? There's contact from the side. Latifi turning into us. I think that was Nicholas Latifi and the Williams. We get a warning for a collision with Latifi, but we didn't do anything. And a huge snap of oversteer. What a catch that was to save ourselves from going in the wall lane. That allows Lance Stroll to go around the outside. Can we send it back around the outside through this windy section of the track, very reminiscent of Jeddah in the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix? There goes Oscar Piastri trying to make a move on Zhou Guanyu around the outside. Zhou up the inside. Piastri off to a good start. Here comes Lance Stroll from behind us, tucking out of the slipstream down this huge straight down the back of the Miami circuit, and we're in the slipstream of Zhou Guanyu, catching Zhou as you can see into the next braking zone. Zhou pushes as wide as he can get without going too late on the brakes and making contact with Piastri almost, but then now can we send one up the inside of Zhou as he goes wide and misses the apex? What an overtake that was on Zhou Guanyu as we go off the track to avoid a collision with Piastri. What an overtake that was on Zhou, who went offline to try and overtake our teammate Oscar Piastri. We are up to P18 from P22. What a start to the race this is. Our first laps this season have always been great. Let's get a replay of that start. See that contact with Latifi. Who was our fault for that? We sent it from way downtown, up the inside, into the braking zone, tucked in nicely, and as you can see, Latifi just tapping us there and making contact, and there's some carbon fibre that went flying off there. I don't know whose car that was from. Maybe we can get a little replay later on in the race to see whose car that actually came from, but there was definitely someone's front wing end plate fly off the car there. Don't think it was ours, of course, because we were ahead of Latifi. Maybe it was Latifi's as he turned into us and crashed into us, but yeah, you can see I'm not used to this track at all, taking all of the curbs as we can. Carlos Sainz into the pit, as well as Lando Norris into the pits. Let's see what happens to Carlos on lap 1 here. Carlos Sainz on the front row with his teammate Charles Leclerc down to turn 1, and his contact between the two Ferraris down into turn 1. You know Mattia Binotto is going to be fuming about that one. So Sainz comes in for a wing change. Here comes Lando Norris into the pits as well. Check back on the lap. Lando didn't take any damage at all, but Lando comes in and gets a new front wing, so that's very bizarre. And there's Daniel Ricciardo double stacked. The McLaren team have double stacked the cars at the end of lap 1. Here's Daniel's view of the start of that race there as we go up the inside of Latifi. You can see that carbon fibre come off still, but I'm not sure where that was from. Obviously not Ricciardo's car. He's P22, dead last, not making any progress off the line there. Shaking the wheel, as you can see, two cars going too wide there. That's me and Lance Stroll. Latifi looking to capitalise on Lance Stroll as he's battling with us. Latifi almost doesn't. Ricciardo up the inside, and Latifi turns in on Ricciardo, and that is where Ricciardo picked up the front wing damage. He has to go and get that changed because Nicholas Latifi causing 2 collisions on his lap here. Yeah, absolutely hate to see it. I can't believe this guy is still driving. Lando Norris coming out the pits on soft tyres, as does Carlos Sainz. They're going with a 2 or maybe even 3 stop strategy, depending on how this race goes. If there's any late safety cars or anything like that, you'll have to wait and find out. Down the back straight down, sort of wishing we put a maximum top speed setup on. We went with the increased top speed, I do think. Hopefully, I wish we would have went with the max top speed, because that straight is so long. It's actually crazy, and then the whole back straight as well that we're getting to now. This section so difficult, uphill braking zone into a tricky chicane with big curbs, swinging it to the right, to swing it back left, and get a good exit onto this long straight. Such a difficult section of the track to drive. And you can see our teammate Piastri doing way better than us as he absolutely flies ahead. And our gearbox picking up more wear, 67% wear. Hopefully we don't see any problems there. We've had enough problems with the ICE, never mind getting gearbox wear. But coming through turn 1 and turn 2 now, these medium tyres starting to heat up a lot. A lot of sliding going on through this track, these flowy corners here, putting a lot of pressure on the tyres, going side to side, heating the tyres up. So very easy to lose grip. Maybe we should have gone with the 2-stop strategy to try and get ourselves onto some soft tyres. We haven't seen soft tyres in any of these races so far, at least for ourselves. But you can see Lando Norris behind us on soft tyres, 19 or 20 seconds behind there. As we get to lap 3, DRS is open, or enabled I should say. But our DRS wing is not open, because Oscar Piastri got away from us, away from that 1 second gap. Lance Stroll though behind us, he's got that 1 second gap to get DRS. As we can see, Piastri trying to make a move around the outside of Alex Albon, not sticking though, as he comes through the chicane onto the back straight in a moment with another DRS zone on the back straight, which is why it's so crucial to have a good exit on this straight. And once you fall out of that DRS range to the car in front, it is so hard to catch up. DRS is so powerful on this game. As you can see, Lance Stroll with his rear wing open down the straight now. Lance Stroll looking to make a move before the end of the straight, and he has done. Easy pass for Lance Stroll with that DRS wing open as we end lap 3 to start lap 4. Like I say, it's just so overpowered, DRS, and if you can't stick with the car in front and you lose that DRS, then you are just left in absolute no man's land. But hopefully, as we send one down the inside of Lance Stroll now into turn 1, great move. If we can make that stick through the next few corners as we can. Great move to send it back. I was just about to say, hopefully we can stay behind Stroll and get that DRS ourselves, but we don't even need to. We send it into turn 1, and it's a great overtake to gain that position back from Lance Stroll. Chasing down our teammates, Oscar Piastri now. The gap is still only close to that 1 second. We don't have DRS down the back straight though, or well, the main straight I call this one. But Lance Stroll does, as you can see, he takes the inside line. Can we send one back round the outside late on the brakes? We're going to go wheel to wheel through the next section now, up the inside like we did to Zhou Guanyu, and we are up in front of Lance Stroll yet again. But Lance will get DRS down the back straight. So was that a good overtake, or was that a move that we should have just let Lance stay in front and took him on the back straight? It depends whether we can keep Lance behind us. We're using battery on the exit of that corner there to try and get a better launch onto this straight. As you can see, Lance in the rear view mirror now, just completely blitzing us on the straight. Maybe we should have let him overtake there to get that DRS down the back straight into the braking zone. You can see we are way too far back to send a lunge on Stroll by the end of that straight, which was very unfortunate to see. There's a little DRS point down the main finish line, pit wall here. Not enough to make an overtake though, so hopefully we can just try and stick with Stroll. Like I say, very hard to stick with the car once you do lose them, and as you can see on lap 8 we don't. George Russell into the pits, he's fitting the hard tyres as Russell comes out of the pits there, and as you can see coming around the corner, sliding, struggling for grip, little micro corrections here and there to catch oversteer. Just wasn't a very fun experience this race, I won't lie to you. On lap 8 you can see understeer through that corner into this next corner. Very tricky braking zone. I never really knew how to take this corner here. Very late apex as you get a launch onto the straight, so it's very hard to set up that corner. But George Russell going to have DRS behind us on the back straight now on lap 8. He's going to make an easy pass surely in that Mercedes. Not even going to fight that one too much because we are not racing against Mercedes. They are not our rivals. Our rivals at the moment, Williams and Aston Martin. Never thought I'd be saying that. You know, after last season or last year's game, by the end of it, fighting for the title with our teammate and against Red Bull and Mercedes, and this time I'm saying, oh yeah, our rival is Williams and Nicholas Latifi. Yeah, through turn 1 again, you can see just very slow, taking it easy, or at least trying to, because as we come through these corners, the tyres heat up so quickly on this game. And on this track especially, like I'm saying, with that slide angle at the end of lap 9 now, coming through again, we're just in no man's land. Carlos Sainz into the pits for a second time. He's changing from those soft tyres that he did put on. Lance Stroll is 6 seconds ahead of us as we understeer again through turn 1, completely missing the apex. And it was so difficult, this race, I won't lie to you. Definitely think I should have changed to a 2-stop, maybe like halfway through the race, or at least at this point in the race, because these medium tyres, as you can see, 30% wear after 10 laps. I think we're going to lap 14 maybe, or 16. Again, understeer, just completely unsettling the car every single lap. Just had no grip whatsoever, and I was just desperate to get these tyres off and get onto a new set of tyres. Starting lap 12 now, coming across the line in no man's land again. Carlos Sainz behind us on another set of tyres. Alex Albon out of the race. He's a car in front of us in the Williams, like I say, our rivals Williams, so that's good to see. Albon off at the side of the track there. Must have been engine failure. Another micro correction on that oversteer again through that corner. I had no grip. The whole race I had no grip. 40% wear on the tyres now. The temperatures are 100 degrees sometimes going through some of these corners, so just very slippery, very hard to set lap time. And obviously all of those micro corrections and every slide that you have cost you time in your lap. So that you can see Lance Stroll 11 seconds ahead of us. At one point we were racing this guy wheel to wheel, and now he's 11 seconds ahead. I decided to come into the pits 1 lap early to put these hard tyres on because I wanted to get these mediums off. I thought, surely these mediums can't be worse than these. I mean, surely the hards that we're putting on as we get a late pit stop there, surely these hards can't be as bad as the mediums that we did have on at the time. We're in no man's land anyway, we're not going to lose position. Now, you see on the MFD there, the tyres are like 70 degrees, ice cold as you come out of the pits. I'm wondering, is that a glitch or is that meant to happen? Last year, that wasn't the case. The tyres weren't that cold coming out of the pits last game. And coming through this corner, you can see complete understeer through that corner, which allows Lando Norris to make an easy overtake. Look at that. The tyres are blue on the MFD. Like, is this a glitch or is that meant to happen? I do not know, because it was absolutely ridiculous, and getting hard tyres up to temperature is a very difficult task. So coming out of the pits, it's every race this season, just had no grip, and it feels like when the AI come out of the pits, they don't have those cold tyres, they just get straight back on the throttle and go. Whereas with these hard tyres, it took me a while to warm them up. That first outlap, like we saw last race, I tried the undercut on Latifi, and he ended up 2 seconds ahead when we were wheel to wheel for the whole race. I'm 2 seconds ahead on the pit stop because my outlap was that bad on the cold tyres. But Oscar Piastri, speaking of cold tyres, he's coming out of the pits now. Are we going to be ahead of our teammate as he crosses the line to exit the pits? Is Piastri ahead? Wheel to wheel racing now with our teammate though. Can we keep it fair and respectful? Look like it might have been a bit of a touch there. Into the next braking zone, up the inside we go. Ahead of Oscar Piastri. You can tell it does because our battery is recharging by that red flashing light on the back. But wheel to wheel racing with our teammate there, and we managed to come out ahead in P17, but he's going to have the fresher tyres as he goes late on the brakes into the end of the straight there. And actually a great overtake from Piastri. I thought he'd outbrake himself, but it's actually a great move from Oscar. Oscar's really impressed me this season with his racecraft, I can't lie to you. I think we made a good choice picking him as our teammate, and I'm considering keeping him for the foreseeable, at least for the next season, and just seeing how he grows and develops, and not just jumping ship and getting a new teammate every season like we did on the last game. Zhou Guanyu, he overtakes us down the straight there very easy with that DRS. Good to see Zhou Guanyu back in the car again after that horror crash in Silverstone this past weekend. Obviously it's virtual, but I'm sure he'll be back in the car this weekend in real life in Austria too. But yeah, hitting that DRS down the main straight, it's not enough to make an overtake on this straight at all. The DRS point is not long enough. But through turn 1, again, understeer. I'm slowing the car down enough, but just full lock of steering, snap of oversteer there we were having to catch. These hard tyres were worse than the mediums. I wish I would have kept those mediums on and went to like 100% wear and just drove on 4 punctured tyres. It probably would have been quicker than these hard tyres. I was sliding everywhere, had no grip. It felt like 4 blocks of ice on the car. Literally getting towards the end of the straight now. We've got blue flags from Charles Leclerc, and we nicely let him go past there. That wasn't even intentional. I just turned and the car wouldn't turn. So we go off the track and Leclerc goes past. So at least we've been lapped, which means, I mean, if everything like stays as it is, we have to do 1 less lap in this race, which for me I'm very grateful about. Daniel Ricciardo has caught up to us after doing like a 6-stop strategy with his damage, but he's caught up to us somehow on those hard tyres. There's only 6 laps left in the race if we go to lap 28, Ricciardo goes past us easy though. This back straight and having DRS on it was way too overpowered. Literally, you can't send it back, and with us not having any battery to try and defend with, because we rinse it all in the first lap and then can't get it back, can't recover it back quick enough, it's just impossible to defend. Now I'm just hoping Latifi, who's 2.7 seconds behind us, hopefully we can keep him at bay. You see the time skip there, lap 25, Latifi's gaining 2 seconds a lap on us. Nicholas Latifi is gaining 2 seconds a lap on us. I never thought I would say those words in my entire life, but Latifi, that just shows you how bad these hard tyres were for me. As Esteban Ocon goes out to the session there, he gets lapped by one of the Ferraris. I think that must have been Leclerc. And he pulls off the track. Engine failure for Esteban Ocon. The Sasuke Racing fans celebrate joyfully because we hate Esteban Ocon. Speaking of Esteban Ocon, wait till you see the next race in Spain. Very controversial moments with him. Stay tuned for that episode. Should be coming on Friday, I want to say. But back to our race in Miami. Latifi, I'm weaving on the straight. That should be a penalty. I weaved on the straight to just try and block this guy off, because I was just like, I don't want Latifi, who's very squirrely, into the braking zone and pushes into the wall there. Yeah, I just don't want this guy to overtake us, but obviously he has done. I just could not set a lap on these hard tyres. They were so bad, and it's really making me hate hard tyres as a whole. Can we send one back on Latifi into turn 1? There's contact. Very silly move from me, very late on the brakes, completely my fault, that contact there with Latifi. But I was at my wit's end, to be honest. We're starting lap 26 of 29. I've had a stinker on the medium tyres and a stinker on the hard tyres, so I had nothing to lose, and it was Latifi. So I thought, if I'm going to crash into him, I may as well take him out anyway, because it's only Latifi. That's Latifi's mindset, I think, in real life too. But it's very unfortunate, because you saw those first few laps, we had some great racing. We had a great break into turn 1, gained like 4 positions off turn 1, racing wheel to wheel with Oscar Piastri, wheel to wheel with Lance Stroll, great overtake on Zhou Guanyu. Like, it's unfortunate. The start of these races, I'm always doing like good moves, good races, but then by the time we come to swap tyres, the hard tyres stink. We can't get them up to temperature. The first lap on them is like literally driving on ice, and I don't know, like I say, if that's a glitch or if that's meant to happen. Charles Leclerc wins the race on lap 28 of 29. We are dead last, 2 DNFs. Albon, Ocon, trying to catch Latifi now. We do have DRS open down this back straight, but it was OP for everyone apart from us. You can see now we're heading right to the last few corners, last few turns. Latifi ahead of us. We finished P20. We crossed the line in P20, but the good thing is, we actually crossed the line. The gearbox was on 60% wear at the start of the race. That didn't blow up on us. The ICE didn't blow up on us. We didn't even get the message that we're seeing wear on the ICE, so we didn't actually lose power in this race and still had a stinker. So it's definitely something to consider with the tyres going forward. I don't know if I just had the wrong tyre pressure on for this race, and that's what caused me so much problems with the tyres, because I didn't actually touch the tyre pressure in the setup. But it's just unfortunate to see Charles Leclerc wins the race yet again. He is absolutely flying in our career mode this season, running away with the title as it stands. I think that's Verstappen there in P3. I wonder who got P2. I did miss that. If the camera will spin round, yeah, we get it. Look at all the celebrations. Yeah, nice, very nice indeed. Let's see who it is in P2 on that podium alongside Charles and Max. We get this nice little new graphic. It's not even nice. I'm bored of seeing it already 4 races into the season. It is going to be Lewis Hamilton on P2 on the podium there. So the Mercedes has managed to get himself up on the podium. Interesting to see how Mercedes do in our career mode this year. On the last game, I felt like every season Mercedes just ran away with it, and Bottas actually ran away with it, I should say. Hamilton was trash last year on our game. I don't know if you remember that. Well, Hamilton was not good on our game last year. Bottas beat him by like 100 points in the championship in the first season, which was crazy. But it's looking like Charles is going to beat everyone by 100 points in the championship this season if the guy keeps winning. Obviously, in Imola last time out, the sprint race, he had a perfect weekend. Fastest lap, won the sprint, won the race, pole position. Crazy driving from Charles. Just showing how good that Ferrari car is. As well, Carlos Sainz down in P5, but he's still P5, good recovery drive after changing his front wing on lap 1 and running the 2-stop strategy. That's crazy pace from him, to be honest, to do a 2-stop strategy and still finish P5, especially when he pit on lap 1. But Oscar Piastri finishing P17, not too impressive from him, to be honest, by the end of the race there. Lance Stroll actually got ahead of him. That's unfortunate to see. That is very unfortunate to see, because Lance was not quick. We were faster than Lance this race, until we went onto the hard tyres at least. But yeah, so there's the driver standing. Charles Leclerc winning by, I think that was only 9 points, was it? Or no, 19 points he was ahead by then. So Max Verstappen definitely still in there. Oh, we have a bonus clip today brought to you by no one. We forgot to do one last episode. Here's throwing it back to lap 4, that great battle, like I was saying, with Lance Stroll. When we have tyres, we actually have great battles with cars. We show Lance the inside. I completely cover the outside because I knew into this braking zone we were going to be coming right and have the inside line. As you can see, he takes the inside line, but we have the inside for the next corner, as we get a lovely camera view of the little like beach house pool party place there in Miami. A lot of detail gone into these tracks, which is very nice to see on this game. I just like that camera angle, the way it showed like the little pool place while we were going around the corner. A lot of detail gone into the track. Shame a lot of detail hasn't gone into other things, such as how cold your tyres are when you come out of the pits, such as the engine wear on your ICE for no reason going to 90% in one race when it's a brand new fresh component, such as what other bugs are there in this game. There's major bugs. There's major bugs. Someone told me last episode that every time they race in Australia, the game freezes on lap 23 and they can't play it. Someone told me that every time they start a race, no matter where they qualify, they start from the back of the grid. Like, what even is this game? You can tell EA have bought this game because of how many glitches there are and how many bad things there are going on. But you can see there, the ICE by the end of the race was 45%, so not too bad. Decent. I think I've said 45. I might be tripping now. We do install a new gearbox for the next race because the gearbox went to 75% wear. So taking that new gearbox, taking a new MGU-H as well, and also a new turbocharger, just seeing some wear on the engine, so changing those components up, hopefully make us faster for the next race in Spain, I want to say. Yes, it is the Spanish Grand Prix. We go ahead and pick up this drag reduction upgrade, streamlined suspension arms. It's going to reduce drag and give us more speed on the straights, which I do want to focus on. Normally I focus the upgrades on a downforce, but the two things I want to focus on mainly is that drag reduction as well as the energy recovery system, because we never harvest the energy back once we spend it. So I'm going to try and upgrade the ERS as much as possible, as well as the drag reduction. I think we get into the powertrain now, or maybe not, with just looking at the components. But yeah, that is the goals. That is what we're saving up our points for. And yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. If you want to see Spain, check it out on Friday. And I will like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time, people. Take it easy.